what's up, everybody? You've now tuned into my Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion recap. Let's see who was talking to me last week. Shout out to AJH723 who was giving me some advice for my allergies. They were like off the chain last week. This week, luckily, it was raining and stuff, so it wasn't too bad out here because I did go out this weekend, but it wasn't as nearly as bad as it was last time. Like, oh, my chest was hurting and everything. It was bad. So Greg Blanchard was like, I like Sheree and I'm glad she is back, but she needs to be crucified. Being messy under the guise of being honest and real is BS. They went easy on her, in my opinion. Yeah, you actually right, because I'm like, in the real world, most people would have got it. I mean, they must really like Sheree for them to have like really let her off easy. You are so right about that. I was thinking that on several occasions, like, she was like just, I mean, I see the justification of what she's doing and the reason why she's doing it. You know, it's all good reasons because at the end of the day, it's like this stuff is going to be on TV. So I might as well just put it out there right now so people don't think that I was having somebody else back and it's not going to make me look bad. I see that, but then it's like you kind of being messy at the same time. And Masha Albertson was like, I love you, girl, Los Angeles, but Kandi is right. Phaedra have like kind of brainwashed Porsha and she be co-signing everything for Phaedra. Girl, Dish Nation. Okay, Dish Nation is gossip. I'll be sure to check that out. Thank you, honey. Thank you. But yeah, it is so true, and we see it here. There were a lot of lies that were, I can't speak, y'all, that were revealed to that Phaedra was the one who said that Kandi told her that she wanted to drug Porsha. And, her and Todd wanted to drug and take Porsha back to the crib, you know, back to the hotel or whatever. So Phaedra tried to front like she didn't know what was going on. She heard it through the grapevine. And Porsha was like, no, don't you dare do that because you told me, you was the one who told me that she told you. And I was like, where's my teacup right now? Because this is really, really juicy, honey. I mean, the juice is being poured out. This is crazy. So Porsha says that she would have never said anything like that if Phaedra wasn't the one that had came to her and told her these things. And Phaedra, once again, she tries to like calm her down and kind of tries to like simmer her down and get her back under her wing, you know, so she can kind of, you know, like she was doing before. I feel like she was definitely brainwashing her. And she said it on several occasions that she thought that Porsha was a bird brain, that Porsha was stupid. And remember, Kenya did actually bring that out when she said, like, you know, this is what she feels about you. How could you be friends with somebody who talks so demeaning and just totally degraded you on so many different levels and occasions? You know, she said you had a small head, a small brain, like all these different things back in the days when she met you. And this is the person that you want to befriend. At the end of the day, you can't take those videos back. You can't take those words back. And that's the way she felt about you. And she probably still does feel the way about you. You know, and she sees that she's easy to manipulate and she doesn't really have friends like that right now. So she's like, you know what? This is the perfect person. So, yeah. And, you know, Porsha totally broke down because she started to see the light and see what was really happening. Kandi was actually breaking down as well. And Kenya and Todd were just like telling Porsha, like, don't cry now. We don't even see no tears. Don't cry now because you said it. You said it on national TV out loud. You said that this is what Kandi was doing to you. And now you want to break down. So Kandi was like to Phaedra, like, I asked you. You was the person that I said, like, you know, why would she say something like this? And for you to be the person, the source that it actually came from, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And Kandi was like, you know that I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do any of that stuff. Like, that is not me. So for you to even put that out there was crazy. She was like, people was even like out there in the streets and in her comment section talking about Kandi, aka Bill Cosby. Like, that's not funny. And it's funny because a lot of people, they put, especially for celebrities, they'll put all kind of craziness onto the comments. Like, people don't read these comments. I mean, some of them, they just they don't want to be bothered because they don't want to see the negativity. But some of them actually do like comment back. Some of them actually do read their comments, and some of them are actually the people that are in control of these actual social media networks. So, not all of them do hire people, third parties, to kind of talk for them. So they see these things, and it is painful. These are human beings, real people. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I feel like, just because they feel like, oh, this is a celebrity, they have a lot of views or whatever, they're not going to see it. Even me, who's a little old me, you know what I mean, on my other channel, which is popping a little something. I mean, it's not all that big or nothing like that. But somebody, even just yesterday, no, today, this morning, somebody was like, oh, she was really feeling herself. So you mean not she, but me is who you're talking about. So I just replied like, yeah, she was. Like, why do you think that I'm not going to see this? Or why are you referring to me in the third party as though I'm not the one who's going to read your comment and perhaps comment back? I just felt like that was kind of stupid. And it wasn't like there was a lot of comments or anything like that. So it was like, why would you say she? Like, if you're trying to refer to me or say something to me, tell me what you got to say, I thought that was kind of stupid, but that's how people be doing out in these streets. So yeah, all of a sudden, Phaedra's like, oh, she doesn't remember saying anything like that. And even Cynthia had to chime in, like, this was just like another level. Like, this was ridiculous. And she was like saying that someone like tried to drug somebody and rape them. That's just going way, way too far at the end of the day. And yeah, she's right. It's so sad that Cynthia had to see all this. She had to be witness to all this on her birthday. So it looks like frickin' frock are no longer an item because this whole thing was like a terrible fiasco. It seems like they're breaking up because Porsha, she was just starting to finally, like I said, her eyes were open. She was starting to really see the manipulation of what was going on. And she was like, why is it that you keep on saying that somebody told you this when you're the one who told me that she told you from her mouth? She was like, yo, don't make me get out the receipts because I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that person to have to pull out text messages and things like that. But you told me that she told you straight up. And she was like, if you keep on acting like that, I'm going to get up and leave. And Porsha was just like, she told her once, I guess before they went to the event or around the event time. Like, she told her pretty much like 3 times, okay? So it's not like she said it once and, oh, I don't remember saying that or I forgot. How could you forget when you told somebody the same thing 3 times? Like, Phaedra is such a BSer. I mean, they say the best liars are lawyers or the best lawyers are liars. So, I mean, I don't know what her track record is, but I can see why she took upon that profession. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you do have to be somewhat of a liar in order to be a lawyer, because a lot of times, depending on who you're defending or, what particular position you have being a lawyer, you're going to have to put lies out there in order to win your case. I mean, it's just plain and simple. Most of them don't tell 100% the truth unless you have like an easy case or unless you don't care about winning. You know what I mean? You're just like, whatever, I'm going to do what's right. And that's not how you really get like clients and things like that, by losing cases, So yeah, Andy was just like, if you repeated something, if you heard this from something, why would you like repeat it? If you actually heard it through the grapevine or whatever, why would you repeat it to her when you know that she'd possibly say it on TV? Like, did you not like her that much? And Faye she just tried to like wiggle her little way out of it and just try to like deflect from the situation and just kind of say something else. And I was just like, everyone's just looking at her like, girl, you are looking like such a big time fraud right now. It's so freaking hilarious. So Kandi was super emotional because she was just like, once again, she was just like, this is a whole nother level. Like, she was like really just over everything. She ended up like even walking off stage eventually. And Porsha, she was just like hysterical. And then Phaedra, she's all like, oh, oh, now I'm the bad guy. Yes, ho, you the bad guy. Like, there ain't no other bad guy. You the bad guy. You're the one. You're the one who started all this. You're the one who made this go down like this. I mean, Porsha needs to take ownership as well, because Porsha was the one who said it on TV without having, sufficient evidence or whatever. But then again, she thought she could trust her friend. And a lot of people do feel like, if you are able to confide in somebody, this person's considered your close friend, then you feel like you can trust them. Not this time. So they all go off the stage or whatever, and they all go into little separate situations. Porsha didn't want to have nothing to do with Phaedra at that moment. Like, she heard her talk to her, but she just wanted to talk to her sister, because that's the one person that at the end of the day is going to always be there for you. Your real blood relative, that's the person that you can really trust. So she had to get stuff off her chest and just kind of get herself back into a calm situation. And luckily her sister was able to help her do that and just kind of listen to her as she spoke. Shamia had initially went in there, but Shamia was more so, like, I feel like Porsha's one of those people that she kind of, sometimes she just wants you to be present, which is what she was saying. She just wants you to kind of maybe listen to her, or just hug her, or just say, girl, it's okay. But Shamia at that moment was more so, she wanted to kind of talk and try to console her. And it's funny because that kind of reminds me of my sister and I, because I'm more of like my sister's mom or caretaker in a way. I've been that way for like several years since she was born. And I just kind of feel like many times, like my sister, and she's even said this to me, but being the person that I am, I'm one of those people, I'm going to tell you like it is. Okay, I'm going to kind of tell you how I feel. Like, don't tell me your problems if you don't want to hear what I have to say, and she's more so, I just want you to listen. And that's where we kind of bump heads a lot of times, because I'm like, why are you even telling me if you don't want to hear what I'm going to tell you, And that's kind of what I kind of felt like was going on when I was kind of looking at it. I was like, damn, that kind of remind me of me. I always got to say something, like, I can't just like, because I just feel like I'm not really, I'm just here and like, does that make sense, y'all? Yeah, I think y'all get it. Okay, so then, when they finally go back on stage, like, but before that, kind of, Porsha was like, once again, she was just kind of really understanding, like, wow, like, I was really the pawn. Like, she even was telling her sister, like, I was really the pawn in this whole situation, and I just feel stupid, and I feel bad for Kandi. And Kandi was in the back. She talked to Andy real quick, and she's just like, Andy, like, can you believe this went down? And he was just like, it's really a sad situation. Like, he felt for her. And it's kind of like this was the moment of clarity where Kandi was kind of able to get some redemption out of this whole situation that she was placed into, And the child, I'm getting thirsty. Sorry if that sounded nasty in the microphone. I don't know. We're going to hear it later. But, so now they get back on stage. They said they sent Shamia off because, she wasn't like a big part of the show or anything like that. It was nice, I guess, in a way that Todd was able to remain on stage. I mean, he was a big part of this whole, like, drama as well. So I guess that's why they kind of kept him on stage. And plus, he's like the only actual husband there. These are real housewives of Atlanta, but none of them are real housewives of Atlanta. It's so weird that they have that name, but they're not even like living up to the name. It's kind of like this other show I watch, like Jane the Virgin, but she's not even a virgin anymore, so it's like the name doesn't really count. I know it's totally off topic and a totally different show, but y'all get the point of what I'm trying to say. So yeah, Phaedra just kind of like, when they get on stage and Andy kind of calls her out, she kind of apologizes. But I just feel like it was kind of a BS apology. It was just apology because everybody's pointing fingers at you and kind of looking at you side-eyed like, damn, girl, I didn't know it was that bad. Like, I didn't know you had it out for Kandi that bad. And you had to put these lies out here. And she was still like trying to, like, I felt like she was still dilly-dallying over the, oh, somebody told me this. Like, if I was Porsha, I definitely would not be close with that girl anymore. Like, that's one of those people who cannot be a true friend. Like, Phaedra is getting exposed for the person that she really is. And, yeah, she's just kind of being put out there, honey. So Kandi was just like, she would have never owned it if she didn't get exposed by Porsha. And that's so true. Like, she was just sitting there at the table. She was just sitting there like she didn't know anything about anything. And she did that on more than one occasion. It was two things during that little, that little table thing that she like pretending like she didn't know about. And then that was another one. This one was like a real big one. And then here at the reunion, she wasn't going to open her mouth and say, all right, guys, it was actually me that said it. No, because she wants to do the little dirt, but she don't want the dirt to be on her. You know what I mean? She don't want it being thrown back at her because she's too pure for it to be on her face. She don't want the dirt blowing over here. She just sends it out, sends it out into the world. And then Phaedra tried to say, she tried to apologize again to Porsha, but then she was like, I don't know if you heard me wrong or whatever. Portia's like, I did not hear you wrong. You said it 3 times. She was like, girl, do not make me have to pull out these receipts. So make me get my phone out here. I don't want to do it. Like, she had no joke, no laughter in her voice. You could tell Porsha was ready to give a whoop down. I mean, she was trying to maintain a composure, and freaking, what's her name, was lucky, She wasn't really, like, Phaedra's one of those people that she just is not, like, she'll do stuff, like, sneakily, but she doesn't want the heat on her. So she'll just be quiet or whatever. She's one of those people that when she gets exposed, she's not going to get too crazy. Like, we seen her get a little crazy like once or twice. And what was it with, like, Kenya or something like that? But, I mean, normally she doesn't like to show her sweat or anything like that. She will just kind of like hold it in. So, yeah, it comes out that Phaedra also brought out those Dungeon and the Marvin story and all those things. She was the one that brought those things to Porsha's attention. So that's how, the whole Todd pretending to be a guy named Marvin when he went to New York. And Kandi was just like, last year, he didn't even go to New York without me. And he doesn't really like going there ever since his mom passed away. So it's like, you putting all these things out there. And Todd was just like, it's messed up that he came in there with a crew of guys, all house husbands or whatever, and he's the only one left. And it's almost like they're trying to rip him apart and tear his relationship down as well so that it can be broken up like theirs. And he's like, it's messed up. So now they show one of my favorite lines from Mama Joyce where she was like, I wouldn't piss in your mouth if your guts was on fire. Like, that was hilarious. And she put so emphasis into it. I was just like, yo, this lady is hilarious. Like, Mama Joyce, she is a comedian. I swear to you. I mean, Kandi, you could tell that she be embarrassed sometimes because you never know what her mama's going to say. But at the end of the day, you can't really, like, shut your mama up because that's your mama at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And you can't really control what somebody else is going to say because that's not her child, And that's what she tries to let Phaedra know a lot of times, is that she doesn't speak for her mom. And she tries to even like kind of calm her mom down sometimes. And even though she laughs, it's because it's funny, Like, you don't expect some of the things that her mom is going to say to come out of her mama's mouth. So, yeah, she be laughing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it comes from her or she's the one saying it or agreeing to it. So, Kandi just says that she would have been pissed if, like, she says that Phaedra would have been pissed if she would have brought Angela Stanton, the woman that wrote a book about how she's a fraudulent person, and just kind of been talking to her on the show. But yet that's the same things on the flip side that this gal was doing to her all along, bringing her ex-employee on there and taking him to see the other lawyer, and she can't tell her anything because of confidentiality, but yet it's on the show. So it's like, how is it confidentiality but it's going to be shown to the public? Like, that was total BS. Like, this girl she be playing too much. And that's somebody that, I mean, if I was Kandi, I definitely wouldn't want to be cool with her anymore either. So, I mean, Kandi might as well let that friendship go. Like, I wouldn't even try to, like, revive it in any way, shape, or form. I feel like they've tried several times. And a lot of times, Kandi's genuine, but it's Phaedra that kind of, like, talks about her behind her back as soon as they think that everything's good. And she did the same thing with Kenya. Kenya thought that they was good. They was back on like a good holy path. And then all of a sudden this woman is like talking bad about her. It was crazy, you know? So, yeah, I feel like this Angela Stanton, whoever she is, I mean, I kind of feel like looking her up. I mean, I don't know if I have enough time to read a new book, but maybe if they have an audio book or something, maybe I could listen to it because I'm kind of interested to hear what it is that this woman had to say. Or at least look up, you know, a blog or something, giving a little summary or scenario or something now that I done heard the lady's name. So she kind of gave the free promo without giving a free promo. So I know this woman was kind of, that Phaedra was kind of upset that all of that went down. You know, that she kind of like put that out there. Phaedra talks once again about how she was upset that Kandi put out that she was cheating. And Kandi's like, I didn't necessarily say you were cheating because everybody has a different interpretation of what cheating exactly is. But what I said was that, you know, you're making it look like, oh, you don't have anybody and I wasn't there for you. But yet you did have somebody that you was talking to. You had somebody that was there. And she was like, you know, I don't want to put out all your business out there and drag you through the mud throughout this one episode. But, you know, don't come for me like that, or don't act like there was nobody there, because it was. And she was trying to say this chocolate person is actually white chocolate, her friend. And Phaedra was just looking like, girl, please. Like, I know all about it. You know, she doesn't see the text messages because Todd shares everything that Apollo shares with him. I mean, that's what a husband and wife does. So, of course, she knows everything, and she's probably seen everything as well. So, it's like Phaedra just trying to pretend and just trying to save face and look a certain way in front of the public, which is the same thing that Kenya had said is actually the truth. She tries to put one thing out there and, you know, kind of cover up certain situations and certain things that's happening in her life so she could look one certain type of way. And she tried to say, oh, she's out there in the public, so they're going to see it regardless. No, because you try to filter the things that are shown. You try to filter things that your friends say and things that your friends do. So Andy asks Phaedra what exactly it is that she's feeling, because she's one of those people, once again, like we said earlier, she doesn't like to let people see her sweat. And she's like, yeah, that's exactly true. And she was like that she just didn't think that this would go down like this. And Porsha was just, you know, kind of in closing, she said that she doesn't really feel like she got what she needed from this whole little thing. Like, she didn't get what she wanted to hear, and she doesn't really feel like she'll be able to continue on or be cool with her anymore. So, I don't know. I guess Frickin' Frock is done. But we shall see, I guess, next season, y'all. But it was great rocking with y'all. You know, I kind of left it for a while because I wasn't really feeling the season, or I wasn't really watching. Sometimes I had stuff to do on Sunday. But, you know, I came back and I did my 4 reunion episodes like I said I would. So I really hope that you guys appreciated that. And definitely check out my other channel because, you know, I'm always there rocking it through with my little wig reviews and stuff like that. So, yeah, stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.